Good morning. I'm very happy to be here among this great company. So we say go and we go. Go. Le Grand Continental is a crazy project whose enormous success we initially found to be somewhat overwhelming. This large-scale dance piece featuring amateur dancers aged 8 to 78 years old suddenly became a benchmark in terms of cultural mediation. My objective, however, was not to create an event to raise dance awareness. I simply wanted to make a dance piece inspired both by line dancing and contemporary dance. I just wanted to pay tribute to social dancing, who eventually brought me to contemporary dance. From the outset, I viewed Le Grand Continental as an artistic project as important as my regular work with professional artists. And I believe that is what makes it an excellent tool for reaching out to a new audience. The participants are involved in an entire process of creating and presenting a show, the notion of raising the bar, of surpassing yourself and committing to something larger than yourself, something that all performing artists share, is transposed here and adapted to their abilities. Auditions were organized to select participants. People of many ages, backgrounds showed up. Families, retirees, students, professional people who had never danced before. Le Grand Continental definitely responds to that need. I also had the privilege, following a request from l'Association Parkinson en Mouvement, of working on a version specially designed for people suffering from Parkinson's disease. The result was presented at the World Parkinson Congress in Montreal. In order to rehearse a cast of 150 or 200 dancers, we have to choose between 200 and 260 participants, as many abandoned after a few days. But after 2 weeks of rehearsal, the final group of dancers has been formed and is ready to work. From that moment on, they become a cohesive and very supportive community. It is a very demanding project for the participants, who are committed to 2 months of rehearsal twice a week to learn 30 minutes of choreography. It is very challenging, but in the end, very gratifying. I also witnessed many very beautiful stories. Here are the pages from a storyboard made by a 50-year-old woman, film director, originally from Tunisia, who had never danced before. She wrote down every steps. Also, the Portland group included a Vietnam War veteran suffering from post-traumatic stress. He told me that for the first time in 40 years, he had stopped taking his medication to relieve his symptoms. There were dozens of very, very interesting stories like that, enough to write a big book. And also, there was, of course, our Serge, who appears here in the center of the photo. This 75-year-old worked in shipping and took up dance very late. His enthusiasm was so contagious, so much so that he became the star of the 3 versions presented in Montreal. Le Grand Continental is always presented outdoor in public square or plaza. Presenting the shows in public spaces imbued with historical or symbolic value generates an immense feeling of pride among the participants and also among the spectators. The feeling of taking over a public space in the city makes it an important event for the dancers. That feeling is shared by thousands of enthusiastic spectators, and indeed many have told us that they wish to take part to the experience. At the end of every show, we invite the audience to join the cast in a freestyle performance of the Grand Continental to music provided by a DJ. If not for the constraints imposed by municipal regulations, the party would continue late into the night. From Boston, Montreal, Mexico City, New York, Philadelphia, Ottawa, Le Grand Continental has attracted more than 70,000 spectators. Nothing stops the dancers, neither pouring rain or the heat of the sun. I'm always assisted by a team of 5 to 8 local professional dancers who help me throughout the process. Learning videos are given to participants so that they can rehearse at home. In every city visited, all the teams are local and I'm the only one brought in from the outside. After the presentation of Le Grand Continental, local teams of assistants went to organize classes for participants who wanted more training. There's even one group in New York who has a dance commando unit that presents dance in the subway now. The response everywhere has been very positive. Thanks to social media such as blogs, participants in different cities interact with other groups, encouraging each other, like this group of dancers from New York who came down to Philadelphia to encourage the dancers. People talk about what a project like this brings to those who take part, but I can tell you that it has brought as much to me as it did to them. Initially, I never imagined that through the Grand Continental, I would experience such a rich exchange with the dancers. They might be amateurs, but to me, they are dancers. With them, and thanks to them, the experience has enabled me to get back in touch with what led me years ago to become a dancer and a choreographer. And that was and is the pure pleasure of movement. Thank you.